it is known as Mahavat. Where is that Mahavat? Where is the elephant master who used to look after the elephant? Call him. So that old man came and he did something that helped the elephant come out of that mire. Can you guess what that elephant master might have done? He did something and that made the elephant suddenly come out of that mire. Anyone? Yeah? Any guess? Yeah? He said, create the scene of the battle. He said, blow the trumpet. He said, beat the drums and let the army come. And let the same scene be created as is created during the wars. And as that scene was created and there was a noise everywhere, the elephant was filled with unprecedented power all of a sudden, and suddenly he came out of that mire. Earlier, all the people tried, but nothing worked. But this trick worked. Why? Why? The reason is quite simple. A scene was created, and this was the scene that elephant was used to. War, noises, trumpets, army, soldiers. All of a sudden his original strength came back to that elephant. It was not that the strength was not there, it was there, but it was hidden, it was lying dormant. But the moment he heard all those noises, he felt as if he has to now fight a war again. And because of that, he just came out of that. And we all have such an old or exhausted elephant within us. And our aim is to activate that elephant. And our aim is to charge and recharge that elephant so that it could jump into action. And that elephant is our subconscious mind. We have often heard these words: conscious mind, subconscious mind, male mind, female mind, objective mind, subjective mind, outer mind, inner mind. These are different words they use. Actually, there are no two minds. Mind is only one, but it operates at two levels. The outside, what is visible, is just the iceberg, and the below, which is there, submerged part of that iceberg, is the subconscious mind. And we are really not aware of the powers of our mind. They say brain is divided into two hemispheres, right, left. Left means logic, reasoning. Right means creativity. When we are in the company of nature, for example, a poet is sitting and trying to write something. His right side of the brain is activated. And when we are solving some problem, the left side is activated. And sometimes it happens that we are solving a very tough problem. We have tried everything and nothing has worked. Then suddenly we go to sleep, exhausted, and all of a sudden, the answer comes to us. You must have heard about Marie Curie. She was the only lady who received Nobel Prize in two subjects. One night, she was exhausted. The whole day she had spent solving one problem. Second day, the same thing. Third day, the same thing. 3 days she was trying to solve one problem, but she couldn't come to any conclusion. On the third day, she was so exhausted, she just fell off to sleep, and when she went to sleep, she herself did not know. And a strange event happened at night. She got up at night, started strolling, took a paper and wrote the answer and went off to sleep. The next day morning when she woke up, she found the answer is written there. Who has written the answer? Because she doesn't remember. But at the time of sleeping, she was constantly thinking of that problem, that sum, that mathematical problem. And as she was sleeping, that problem slipped into the subconscious mind. And at night when she got up, the subconscious mind gave the answer. And she slept again. The next morning it was written. How that answer came, it's not known. How the mind got to know that answer, very difficult to ascertain. But these are some of the miracles of the mind. We have got unprecedented, unlimited powers within us. There was one Swami in India, his name was Swami Veda. He used to do yoga nidra. What is yoga nidra? We will see. It's a special type of sleep. It's a sleep of yoga. Once he went to Europe, and there he had to give lecture in front of Spanish people. He did not know to speak Spanish. He wrote down his speech in English and gave to the disciple. And he went off to sleep. That is the sleep of yoga. And asked his disciple to narrate the complete speech in Spanish. And he was sleeping. And the disciple narrated the complete speech in Spanish to Swami Veda. It appeared from the distance he is snoring, he is deep sleep, but he was not sleeping. And then he woke up after 1 hour. And he went in front of the audience and gave the lecture in Spanish language. Though he never knew Spanish. How all these things are happening. These are really wonders. There was one more person in India, Ramanujan. He was the mathematics genius. I don't think such a person ever was born in the field of mathematics. He was uneducated, illiterate, but he had such hold over maths that he became very famous. He was born in southern India, and the news of his talent reached England. Professor Hardy was the professor of mathematics, one of the few gems at that time. He called Ramanujan to Europe, and he was awestruck by the genius and the capacity of Ramanujan. Professor Hardy would write some sum on the board, 2 into 12 into 6 into 7 into 10 divided by 5 divided by 9 into 25, something like that, very complicated one. And within the fraction of a second, Ramanujan would give the answer. It's not even possible for them. Their mind needs some time to calculate. But even without calculations, Ramanujan would give the answer. That was really a miraculous thing. And one more thing, Ramanujan fell sick while she was in London. And Professor Hardy came to see him there. While sleeping, only Ramanujan said, your car number has got a very specific importance. There were 3 numbers on the car, the number of the car, car number, the name plate, the car number plate was there. And he told the importance of first number, second number and third number. Ramanujan died at the age of 32, very young age. Professor Hardy said after the death of Ramanujan, if Ramanujan has said that, that must be true. And it took him 6 months to prove that the first 2 numbers, the importance of first 2 numbers which Ramanujan said was right. And he left in his will, Professor Hardy, that the third meaning of the third number is yet not clear, but the research should continue. And about 20 years after or 23 years after, what Ramanujan had said about the third number came true. So he was that genius in mathematics. So whether, as we started with the story of that elephant, suddenly who became powerful, or the Madame Curie, who fell off to sleep, and during the sleep she solved one problem, or this Ramanujan. What are all these things? These are the miracles of the mind. You also must have heard about Archimedes. He was given a cup, and the king said, find out how much is alloy and how much is pure gold. He tried to solve that problem throughout the day and days together, but he couldn't come to any conclusion. And when did he find the solution? Whilst he was taking bath. When he was in the bathtub, suddenly it struck him. And like that, undressed, he went to the court and shouting, Eureka, Eureka, Eureka. What was that? It was not the logical mind. It was not this mind, the reasoning mind. It was the right mind that worked the miracle. So the mind operates at 2 levels, conscious, subconscious. We are so much engaged in the conscious mind, trying to solve the problems of life with conscious mind, with reason, with logic, with mathematics, tark. But there's one portion which remains untouched. Tapping the subconscious mind means using the right side of the brain hemisphere. And as I said, mind has got unprecedented powers. We do not know how much powerful we are. Because, as I said, we are just looking at that iceberg, which is just 1/9 of the entire. 1/9 part is below, only one part is above the water level. And we are using that to understand life, to understand mysteries of life. And most of the things we know only and only when the conscious mind is calmed and subconscious gets activated. The entire process is to calm the conscious mind. The thoughts, the upheaval of thoughts, the force of thoughts, the constant rush of thoughts. There is no end to that. Which are the moments of our life when we are absolutely calm, no thoughts. They talk about 4 brain waves. There are 5. 5th one is not that important. Alpha wave. First is beta. Right now, a normal person during his daily activity is, if EEG is taken, it's beta wave. Slightly relaxed, alpha wave. Meditation or light sleep, delta wave. And theta wave, less than 4 hertz, that happen in a very, very deep state of relaxation. When the mind travels from there is one more, gamma, which is more than 40 hertz. But usually they talk of these four. So the journey is from beta to alpha, from beta to theta, and then delta. Delta and then theta. So this is the journey. We have to calm down the mind. Then only we can realize our potential. If this is conscious mind, and this is subconscious, there is a barrier in between. This is known as pre-conscious. And it is very difficult to lift this barrier. But there are two times throughout the day when this barrier is lifted. The first, the early morning hours, the moment you wake up. What is your first thought? That is the time when this barrier is lifted. If you have very negative thoughts during early morning hours, the whole day would be like that. If you have very powerful positive thought, the very first thought, you wake up in the morning and you feel so refreshed, so energetic, so energized. Otherwise, you wake up in the morning, you say, oh, again it is late. Again my boss will scold me. You wake up in the morning and immediately you see the news. You wake up in the morning, oh, so many missed calls. So the first thought. So the morning hours is the time when the pre-conscious is lifted. The second time is at the time of sleep. How we go to sleep. With what thoughts we fall off to sleep. That's the time when the subconscious is lifted. So these are the two times. If we can work on these two times, we can enter the subconscious. As I said, it is very difficult to enter the subconscious. It is inaccessible throughout the day. Because our conscious mind is active. We are thinking, I have to do this, I have to look after them, I have to go for my job, I have to take care of my children, my housework, so many things. So conscious should be calm. So before we proceed further, we will try to calm the conscious mind. So let's sit in meditation. All of you, then sit back. Everything keep down. Nothing should be there in hand. Sit absolutely relaxed. Not touching each other. You can be completely away from each other. Mind relax. Complete body relax. You may close the eyes. Completely calm, completely tranquil. completely at peace with myself. Let me feel myself. Where I am running, why I am running. Can I stop for a moment and introspect myself? Few moments of silence to recharge myself. Let me calm down all my thoughts. And one simple thought. I am a pure soul. I am a peaceful being. My whole life has become peaceful. A complete stage of stability. With this calm mind, let me explore the realms of subconscious. Let me feel deeply what emotions are stored within me, what fears, what phobias. What is the goal of this life? Let me stop. A deep feeling of stillness. What are the deepest emotions? With such a calm mind, today I want to explore myself. I was busy looking up at others till now. inner world of passion, of desires, of ambitions. Om Shanti. Open the eyes. The moment the conscious mind becomes calm, the gateway to the subconscious opens. And what powers are within us, as I said, we ourselves don't know. Now, how to activate? This is the question. We will see certain methods, certain ways to do this so that we can do it every day. It should not just remain a theory which we heard, which we read and then forgotten. This is something which has to be done almost every day. So we'll see about 26 different methods, ways to reach, to access the subconscious. The first way is awareness, mindfulness, wakefulness. What is awareness? Awareness means to be aware of what you are doing. There was once a Zen master. Have you heard about Zen philosophy? Zen, very much prevalent in China and Japan. It's one of the branches of Buddhism, but very revolutionary in nature. Zen philosophy, Z-E-N. There was once a Zen master, his name was Bokazu. What he used to do, you know? He used to pronounce his own name and say, Bokazu, have you heard? Bokazu, do you know this? His disciples asked him, Master, with whom you are talking? He says, I am talking with myself. I am reminding myself that who I am, what I am doing at this moment. For example, now you are all sitting here. Listen to this discourse. One is to sit here, to listen, and the mind is roaming around. Only the body is here. This is not the act of awareness. Awareness means when I listen, That's it. When I eat, I only eat, nothing else. When I sleep, I only sleep. When I walk, I only walk. I am walking with full awareness. I am sleeping with awareness. I am waking up with awareness. I am eating with awareness. I am talking with awareness. I am listening with awareness. I am seeing with awareness. With complete mindfulness. It's only and only when we become unconscious, we commit blunders and mistakes. If a man is going this way, there are less chance that, and there is a hole, there is a ditch, there are less chance that he will fall in that ditch. But yes, if he is unconscious, if he is semi-conscious, he is stuporous, and is walking like this, intoxicated, he might fall. But when he is in the stage of complete awareness, it is less likely that he will fall down. All the mistakes that we have committed in life, they were committed in the stage of unconsciousness. We were not aware of what we were doing that time. So bring awareness. So that Bokazo said to his disciple, I tell myself what I am doing. Now, a time came when Bokazo became old Then he stopped talking like this. His disciples asked, now you don't keep on shouting in between, Bokazo, do this, Bokazo, have you listened? He says, now I am awake all the time. Earlier I used to fall asleep. Falling asleep doesn't mean falling asleep in that way. The mind falls to sleep. Now I am absolutely aware throughout the day. When I am walking, I am aware that I am walking. When I am reading, I am aware that I am reading this. Now when you are sitting here, just listen. No other thing. Mind is not planning, after the class I will go there, I will finish this. Nothing. Throughout the day, all these things happened. Throughout the day, there was a fight, there was something. If you want to reach the subconscious, as I said, the conscious should be made silent. And first way is bringing awareness. Mindfulness. In Zen, they say mindfulness is the only religion. They don't believe in any philosophies, any dogmas, nothing. No practice. Just be mindful. Be aware. And they have a very specific method of meditation. Just focusing on the breath. Not even trying to control it. Breath is coming, breath is going. That's it. Inspiration, expiration. Just focus and see it. That's it. So people have tried to explore mind down the ages in all religions. So, increasing awareness. What are the methods to increase awareness? Select a solitude, a lonely place, sit there. That may be terrace, some ocean, mountain, river, lake, stream, or some beautiful scenic place. Sitting there and just thinking and gradually calming the mind down. See what happens. Not doing anything, just calm the mind down. There was one Zen master who was standing on the top of one hill. 3 people were passing by. And they started thinking what this man is doing. So the first said, he might be searching his friends. Second says, no, he is not searching his friends. I think that he is searching his cattle, which is lost. The third says, no, I think he might be meditating there. And they start fighting amongst themselves. Ultimately, they decide, let us go to him and ask what he is doing. So the first person asks, sorry to interrupt you, but we just want to know what are you doing. So the first man says, are you searching for your friends? He says, I don't have any friends, I am not searching for friends. The second person says, are you looking after your cattle? He says, no, I am not looking after my cattle. The third person says, are you meditating? He says, no, I am not even meditating. So what are you doing? He says, I am not doing anything. I am not doing anything. I am trying to be what I am. Just me. No labels. No role consciousness. Somebody's father, somebody's brother, somebody's brother-in-law, somebody's son, somebody's grandfather. All the labels, let them fall down. I am what I am. Just trying to be what I am. For some moments. This calms the mind. Because we have so many labels attached with us. And we always identify ourselves with those labels. And in this, who we are, that is lost. We are not just the aggregation of this bones, muscles, tendons, some organs joined together, blood pumping inside. We are something higher, something which is non-physical, something which is metaphysical. You know, Einstein has said somewhere study of physics takes me towards metaphysics. Metaphysics means spirituality. Metaphysics means supernatural science. Metaphysics means that which is not physical, something above physical. So we are non-physical beings. There is a spark within us which doesn't die when we body dies. There is some point within us, some energy within us, some spirit within us which stays, and we are actually that. Getting stabilized in that is the avenue or door to activate the subconscious mind. First method. Second method, balance. Trying to keep balance in life. Mind has a tendency to swing like pendulum. It goes towards this side, left side, and when it is going towards left side, actually it is not going towards left. It is gathering momentum to go towards right. When it goes towards right, it gathers momentum to go towards the left. It is swinging like this all the time. The goal is to let it stabilize, become still at one point. Balance. Sometimes we sleep too much. Sometimes we sleep very less. Sometimes we resort to overeating. Sometimes to undereating. Sometimes our weight increases, weight gain. Everybody is conscious about obesity. Immediately we resort to all health methods, all walking, exercising and everything. But then sometimes we do it to such an extent that it has harmful effects on the body. Mind always swings like this. There was one person who was a prince and he developed disinterest from the world and he decided to take sannyas. He went to Lord Buddha. He said, I want to take sannyas. Lord Buddha said, okay, welcome. Please join the order. And he was extremely indulgent person, always lost in sensual pleasures, wine, and all things of the world, all the worldly enjoyments. And when he came to the path of disinterest, of Vairag, the pendulum was shifted on another side. Everybody would take twice food, he would take only once. Everybody would walk on the proper path, he would walk on the path which is thorny. He started torturing his body. Earlier, indulgence. Now, extreme penance, harming the body to such an extent that within 6 months he became a very thin, emaciated person. So Lord Buddha called him one day. He said, come here. And Lord Buddha said, I heard that you used to play piano, violin or piano or something, earlier days, before you came here. He said, yes, I was the best player. I was the best musician. So he asked him, what about the strings? If the strings are very loose, can music come out? He said, no, not possible. Then Lord Buddha said, if the strings are very, very tight, what happened? He said, they will get broken. So what is needed for the music? He said, middle. Buddha says, the same thing is with life. If you become too loose, music of life will not come. If you become too strong, too tight, music of life will not come. So the second thing, to strike a balance in life. Balance of everything, sleep, food, relationship, two persons, A and B. They love each other too much. They love so much to the extent that they cannot live without each other. They want them in front of each other all the time. But a time comes that this familiarity turns into contempt. They start hating each other after some time. And when they hate, they become the worst enemies. Our worst enemies are those who were our best friend once upon a time. Our worst enemies are never those we had no relation with them. Because the pendulum swings to other side. We are here, this side, too much love, and then suddenly we shift to too much hatred. Too much closeness, and then we shift to too much detachment. This is what the mind does. Try to understand the psychology of the mind. What it wants. And there is always a temptation to go to extremes all the time. So it's striking a balance. For example, one says, I want to do exercise. But he exercises so much so that then he starts developing health problems. And then there are others who don't do any exercise. And they become fat and multiple diseases. Exercise or anything in life should have a balance. A balanced mind alone can explore the realm of subconscious. So second thing which is needed to enter into the subconscious mind is balance. Third thing which is needed is creativity. And one of the best creativity is writing. Who loves writing? Anybody? Yeah. You know, when you jot down your thoughts, many things come out. Many new things come out. And then it becomes easy to understand your own self just by writing. Every day make it a point that you write down. And there is one beautiful method, keeping diary. I myself have, in between it stopped, but I used to write diary for a very, very, very long time. More than 15, 20 years every day. Whatever that happened throughout the day. Morning, I got up at this much time, then I went to college, then I went to the hospital, then I went this, I did this, I met this person, I went to Brahma Kumari Center and I listened to this lecture, everything recorded. And today, somebody said something to me, I felt very bad. Almost I cried. This is one day. Now you look this, what you wrote on Monday, you review that on every Sunday. And you will find this was such a small thing. There was no need to cry. Why did I cry? Such a small thing disturbed me. But when that thing happens, it is very big. Somebody insults me. I feel very bad. Have you heard about Dale Carnegie? Dale Carnegie? Anyone? Everyone of you? Dale Carnegie?
Yes.
Many books he has written. How to influence friends and win friends and influence people. He was the person who researched the life of Abraham Lincoln. And he has even written the book, Lincoln the Unknown, something like that. So once in America, he gave a lecture on radio on Abraham Lincoln in the morning. Next day, he received a letter from a woman. She was saying, many things you told about Abraham Lincoln are not true. You should have researched his life properly before talking in front of public. And the moment he received that letter, he was so fiery. He said, I know more about Abraham Lincoln than this lady. What she knows. He was so angry and he decided, I will write even a poisonous letter to her. Tit for tat. And immediately he went and wrote a letter. But it was too late at night. He thought, I will post it tomorrow morning. Next morning, before posting that letter, he felt, let me read it once. And when he read, he said, oh, it is too bitter. Let me write it one more. So he wrote another letter, but too much in anger. But again he said, let me wait for one more day. Let's see what happens. The next day, he was about to post the letter he read. He said, it is still too much bitter. The language is very harsh. Let me wait for one more day. In this way, he kept on waiting and writing letter for 1 week. And after the end of 1 week, he wrote a letter. My dear dash, the name of the lady. I am very thankful to you that you pointed out the mistakes, and I feel that whatever you have written is right. I need to explore more and investigate more, to understand more. And I am very, very thankful to you for such a good letter that you wrote to me. Compare the letter, the first letter and the last letter. And then that lady comes to meet him and they become lifelong friends. So when the immediate thing happens, it is very big. That's why wait, don't react. Don't jump to conclusions, wait. And that is the beauty of writing. Whatever that happens, write down and leave it. And then after some days, open it and see, oh, this person said such a thing to me. I felt very bad, but it's such a small thing. There is no question of feeling bad in that. Why am I feeling bad? I felt that day it was insult, but now I don't feel it is insult. It's good that they criticize me, it's for my good. I must learn from them. So creativity means, one of the creativity is writing. Write. What you will write? Your routine. What you will write? Your thoughts. What you will write? Something creative. Poetries, poems, compositions. Describe something. For example, you came here. Go to your room, to your house, and write down few good points that you heard. Next day you go to some other place. Write down, today I went to one temple, it was very peaceful. So that after some days when you are peaceless, try to see what happened when you were in the temple. You will write, oh, I was very peaceful. Let me now go back to that same place where I achieved, where I had felt that spark of peace. So you'll go back to that place again. Trying to understand mind. Mind is very tricky. Very, very tricky. It deceives like anything. You believe him and it deceives. For example, a very religious man was going by the way and he sees the garden where there are fresh, mature mangoes and he feels the temptation to eat the mangoes. But he is a religious man and how he is going to steal them. But then the mangoes pull him. He goes, takes a bag and starts taking the mangoes and filling in that bag. And suddenly, the owner of the garden comes. He says, hey, what are you doing? You are such a religious man and you are stealing? He says, no, I was not stealing. The wind was blowing so hard that I am just thrown by the wind to this place. The man says, the wind never blows so much harsh in this area. Okay, still I believe. Okay, the wind threw you here. But what about the two mangoes in your hand? How the mangoes came in your hand? So he says, because the wind was so violent that I was trying to save myself, so these two mangoes came in my hand. So the man says, okay, even that is agreed. What about the mangoes in your bag? So he says, I am not a philosopher to answer every question. Now you will ask me why the seed has come in the mango. Now you will keep on asking me, do you think that I know all the answers? So this is how the mind behaves. Lot of excuses, pretexts, deceptions going on within us and we are unaware of it. This is an outside example, but I am talking of some other examples which are happening at a very deeper emotional level. Self-hypocrisy, self-deception. So go for creativity. And one of the creative thing is writing. When you start writing, write blogs, write letter, write poems, write diary, write anything. Write a letter to God. Write a letter to the person who is unknown to you and never post it. Write a letter to the imaginary person and never post it. But writing is must. That clarifies the mind, declutters the mind. So much garbage, waste, rubbish. It becomes clear of all those things. So third method of reaching the subconscious mind or activating the subconscious mind is creative activities, and one of them is writing. Second, any other creative activity? Any one of you? Yes? What are the creative activities you can do?
Coloring.
Yeah?
Drawing.
Coloring, drawing, singing. Singing
Singing.
is a creative activity. Playing,
Cooking.
cooking, yeah, really. Cooking is a very good activity. Becoming like a child. There's a book in English, Sense of Wonder. The author, the lady was 70-year-old. She decided, let me become like a small child. At the age of 70, she decided to become a child. And what she did, she made friendship with a child of 3-year-old and followed that child till the child became 5-year-old for 2 years. And she did everything what the child did. The child was crawling, she also started crawling. The child was doing something, she also did something. Everything that the child did, she did for 2 years, just to explore what happens. And her experiences are amazing. She said, I never felt such lightness in my life before. In my 70 years, I was always busy with work, workload, and so many other things. Such sense of wonder never came to me. This is for the first time. A new revelation came to me. So it's creativity. Walking, jogging, helping someone, going to some orphanage, going to some new place which you have never visited before. Keep the mind open. Don't be closed-minded person. This narrow-mindedness is not a very good thing. Open, go everywhere. See what is their opinion. Visit all the institutions in the world. Don't say that, oh, I will go only here, I will not go there. They are not good people, these are not good people. I have heard that they do some magic. They look into the eyes and they do hypnosis. That's why if you go to Brahma Kumaris, don't look in the eyes of those sisters. They will do something. That's what people think, believe. Keep the eyes down like that while talking with the sisters. Because they do something. Some hypnosis. So people have n number of beliefs. They spread rumors like that. Creativity. Then, next is digital detox. What is that? What is detox? They go to detox center. For what? And what they do there? They drink juices, very light food, plant-based food, so that all the toxins which are in the body are removed. I am talking not of food but of digital detox. Disconnect to reconnect. Disconnect to reconnect. The reconnection will not happen unless and until you disconnect. What is the screen time? All the time, glued to that. There was one man suddenly admitted to the hospital, brought on stretcher, and 4-5 friends together. And everybody said, doctor, emergency, emergency. Doctor said, what happened? They said, he's a WhatsApp addict and internet is off from last 4 days. That's why I fell unconscious. There was a lady who was addicted to internet and they decided to shift her to rehabilitation center. She said, I will go to rehab center on one condition, it should have Wi-Fi. Otherwise, I will not go. So we are that much dependent. All the time preoccupied with all the social media. Adding friends and getting unfriended within. Friends are in galore outside, inside not a single friend. Inside a deep loneliness, disconnect for some time. Learn to stay offline. Difficult task. If God gets a WhatsApp in his mobile, the last scene, our last scene, would be only in the morning. After that, we are not bothered to think about him. Only that to only few souls who might be remembering him in the morning. All these gadgets, they are very good, they are very important, but know that they should not engage us so much that they snatch and hijack our inner peace and love and solitude. All the paraphernalia of science, they have their importance. Keep them slightly away. Seek some solitude. In the morning hour, go somewhere all alone. Sit somewhere all alone. Think about the different questions about life. What is it? What I am doing? What I have to do? Where I have to go? And so many other questions of life. So, digital detox. There was a man, every night he used to have one dream. What was the dream? Below his bed, wild animals, snakes, lions, lizards, and every morning he would get up with panting heart, and he was unhappy whole day. Because the same dream every day. People would say, why don't you go to some doctor, some psychiatrist? He said, I consulted everyone, nobody is helping me. And one day, suddenly he became so happy. And he started jumping with happiness. People asked, what happened? He said, my brother came, he was a carpenter. He's a carpenter. And he cut all the 4 limbs of my bed. So I don't have any dreams any further. Because the limbs are broken. So 4 limbs. TV, mobile, internet and social media. These are the 4 limbs. Below them are all the vices, all the disturbances which are happening. Cut this limb for some time, so that you will not have those dreams and you can enter the subconscious. Then, next, exercising. Exercise is a very important thing. When you exercise, what happens? Neurotransmitters are liberated, generated, endorphins are released, happiness hormones are released, you feel happy. You remain fit. You must know the pains and miseries of obese people, the pains and miseries of people who are sick, lying in hospital for months together. And then you will realize how to have health is such a beautiful thing in life. It is impossible that a person before exercise and after exercise is same. His mind totally changes. He might be depressed, let him do exercise. After exercise, he is energetic. Today morning we had gone to this botanical garden and I was so happy and thrilled. People were jumping and doing all sorts of exercise. It's so beautiful. It is really a blessing to have such garden around. So exercising is a way to reach the subconscious. And then next, first thing first. This is a principle. Means prioritization. You must set priorities in life. What is my priority? Wealth or peace of mind? What are my priorities? Relationship or things? If you have to choose between relationship and things, what you will choose? Relationships will not come back. Things may come back. There's a very senior Brahma Kumari sister. I heard her once sharing one thing. In one Brahma Kumari center, once there was some program and she handed over some money to a junior sister to take care of it. And the junior sister lost that money. And that money was taken from the students. And it was for some service. So the senior sister suddenly got very angry with her. And later on they could find that money was somewhere. But now about 40 years have happened to this event. She feels our relationship before that event and after that event are different. There is a scratch. I feel I should not have shouted at her. Because money will come back. Person will not come back. Relationship is a very delicate thing. Once broken, even a scratch that stays throughout the life. Very difficult to patch it. That's why take care of people, persons, near and dear ones. After things, objects, money, don't let go of people who are very dear to you. Take care of them. First thing first means what is the priority in my life? One American author, Joshua Liebman, when he was young, he wrote a list of things he wanted to achieve in life. Wealth, good wife, family, children, and then job, name, fame, author of books, all those things he wrote. And he went to a very learned person to recheck it. And he gave to that person. This is the thing I have aimed in my life at the age of 20. That learned old man, he took a pen and scratched everything. He said, and wrote just one thing, peace of mind. This is the first thing you have to seek in life. If you have not sought this, all other things are wasteful. That's why the same author, when he grew up, he wrote the best-selling book, Peace of Mind. You can get it anywhere from the counter or from the bookstore. Very profound book, Peace of Mind. First thing first. And the first priority is to have calm mind. And the first priority is to have a peaceful mind. I don't want to just simply rush nonsensically, fanatically. The way people are rushing and ranting and raving. Where they are going, even they are not aware. What are they doing? Even they don't know. They are just running and running and running. If you stop any person and ask, where are you going? He says, don't wait, don't stop me, I have to go. Why are you going? Because others are running, that's why I am also running. That's the answer. Why I am running? Because others are running, I have to follow them. Next, goal setting. Set the goal of your life. What I want in my life. What are the goals of life? Is it just money, wealth and all those things? Or something else? And the greatest work, the spirit, the soul is thirsty for something deeper. It is not satisfied with anything which is there outside. No matter how many books you read, no matter whatever things you hear, no matter what charitable works you do, It remains thirsty because it wants something which is very deep. Quench the thirst of your own soul by giving it what it wants. And you will come to the conclusion that it doesn't want anything which is material. It wants real peace, real purity, real love. And real love is not in the love of body. We think that body love, union of bodies, this is the greatest pleasure they think. Probably not. Lustful love cannot lead to eternal happiness. It will be soon followed by frustrations, depression, fluctuations of mood, and many other things. Jealousy, pride, and all those things. Instability of relationships. But a relationship which is based on love, platonic love, spiritual love, it stays for a very long time. But a relationship which is based only on transitory physical attraction, it is there today, gone tomorrow. So seek the eternal, seek the highest, seek the purest, seek the holiest, seek the most sublime. That is the goal. So set the goal of life. And then next, habits. Habits. Create new healthy habits. And one of the habits is positive affirmations. Positive affirmations. What are they? What is affirmations? Positive self-talk. This is one of the habits. And they are divided in 3 parts. For example, there is an alcoholic. He wants to give up alcohol. How he will go? First, present tense. I am giving up alcohol. Next, future tense. I will soon give up alcohol. Third, natural. It is very easy for me to give up alcohol. So these are the 3 ways, affirmations. If you are addicted to anything in life, use these 3 methods. Present, future, and natural. For example, a person is addicted to internet. This is the latest addiction. And he is missing all his important works due to this addiction. First, I am getting rid of this addiction. Second, I will soon get rid of this addiction. And third, it's so easy, very easy to get rid of it. This is to be done not one day, 2 days. Keep on repeating it all the time. The moment you get up in the morning, the mind is fresh. Conscious, subconscious, preconscious. Preconscious barrier is down. All the thoughts which are thrown in, they directly will go in subconscious, early morning hours. That is why there is an importance of getting up early in the morning. You know, in Brahma Kumaris, what time people get up? Huh? 4 o'clock. There is a meditation every day from 4 to 4:45, early morning. And if you come to the headquarters where I stay, people get up even further, even before that. Some people get up at 3 o'clock, some people get up at 3:30. I myself, it's a habit with me to get up at 2 in the morning from very long time. It's only when I go out for some retreats, that time I break this, because throughout the day there is no rest. It is sometimes there is, sometimes it's not, so I change it. But otherwise, to sleep early in the morning at 9:30, to get up, for what reason? To calm the mind. To sit in meditation. Practice different spiritual drills so that this consciousness of the body stay down and I remain at a higher platform. So that we can churn knowledge, we can understand knowledge, reflect on knowledge. For this reason. And I will not advise you to do that. Gradually everything should be done. Don't try to mimic suddenly something. All changes should not be revolution, there should be evolution. Because somebody is doing, let me also do, that's not right. Because I myself have done it very, very gradually. Everything what we do, very gradually. Don't try to imitate immediately. This person is doing like this, he is eating this, let me eat this. Next day you will fall sick. Don't do that. These people are getting up at 2 o'clock, let me get up at 2 o'clock. And you get up and you are moving like this, falling down and falling behind. And then sleeping the whole day. Oh, it became a very difficult affair. There are people, in Mount Abu, people come from here and they see others are getting up 3 o'clock. I will also get up. And they get up at 3 o'clock and they sit like this for meditation. Like this. Once I was sitting like this for meditation, a brother came and said, and literally 2-3 times he fell down on me. I said, please get up. That was meditation which was going on. Very horrible meditation. One person started meditating and he started snoring. Whole audience was listening in voice. Every calm, imagine 4 o'clock in the morning, so calm. And he started like that. Don't try heroics. As I said, balance. Don't do it because somebody else is doing. His nature is different, his body is different, his prakriti is different. My body, my nature, my habits are different. I have to form habits very gradually. First analyze. Should I do this? If yes, let me read more about it, understand it, then only I will do it. Otherwise, catastrophic. Don't do that. So, form new habits. One of the habits, as I said, is positive affirmations. Give positive thought, positive affirmations. Affirmations means self-statements. You must have heard about pep talk. P-E-P-T-A-L-K. Talk. Pep talk. What is it? Basketball players, when they have to play, they come together like this, goal, group, in a circle, and they tell encouraging word to each other. You can do it, you can win it. This is just to encourage each other. What is the use? It's very important. Come on, come on, come on. All those things that is known as pep talk, to encourage. So keep on telling yourself, oh, please come on, you can do it, you can do it. You are falling, but keep on telling, I am rising up. So habits. And then next, inquisitiveness. Inquisitiveness means curiosity. I think yesterday also I was talking something about curiosity. Yesterday night lecture which was there. Curiosity like a child. What is this? What is that? Now you came in here, you must be curious to know. What is this Brahma Kumaris? What is this place? What are these pictures? Who is this man? What is this poster? What are all these things which are here? What are all this? You should be curious to know. I'm not telling you believe, don't believe. Don't believe in anything unless and until you are convinced by your own mind. Don't believe because these sisters are telling this is right. Don't believe because I am telling it is right. Just reject everything. Find the truth yourself. Don't believe it is written in some book which was given by this sister. Why should we believe? We have our own intellect, logic, mind. Think, then only believe or do anything. Inquisitiveness means curiosity. Be curious to know life. Be curious to know what is the real meaning of life. And be curious to know the mind and subconscious mind. Then you will start exploring on your own. What is it? I will like to suggest you a name of a very good book which you can write down and you can order online. The Power of Subconscious Mind by Dr. Joseph Murphy. This is one of the best book on subconscious mind. And those who are suffering from some physical illness, first few chapters are devoted only how to get rid of illness with just the power of mind. Because the author himself was suffering from incurable cancer, and doctor pronounced that he will not survive more than few months, and he survived just with the power of subconscious mind. The power of subconscious mind, you can get it online by Dr. Joseph Murphy. Very beautiful book. Joseph Murphy. Murphy. Yeah. I saw that book even at the Penang airport. It was there. So, curiosity. And then next, journeys. Travel. Going out of your comfort zone helps you to explore subconscious mind. Keep on traveling. There are two types of travel, one outside, one inside. One outside journey, one inner journey. Both are necessary. When you travel, when you go to new places, you explore, you get to know new things. And that helps you to understand life better. Well, it helps you to interact with different people. This is one of the ways to enter inside. They say for entering subconscious mind, you must step out of your comfort zone. The moment you step out of your comfort zone increases. If you step out, then only it increases. Otherwise, you will like that frog in the well. The frog says, "This is ocean. I don't want." One day another frog comes from the ocean. He says, the frog from the well asks that frog, "Well, how is the ocean like?" The frog from ocean says, "Ocean is very big." The frog of well says, "How much big?" "This much?" He jumps. He says, "No, this is nothing, this is well. Ocean is very big." So this frog from the well jumps a little further distance. "This much?" He says, "No." Then the frog from the well says, "Forget, I don't want to go to your ocean. This is the only ocean. This is the only right thing. This is the only place which is good." That's it. A very limited, narrowed outlook. Interact with people. Go to different places. Come out of your comfort zones. Don't set boundaries. Okay, this is this, this is this, this is this. That's it. Come out of it. And then next, keeping focused. Be focused in life. If you want to achieve 100 things, you cannot do that. Avoid multitasking. Focus on one. First, achieve this, then go to another. Then achieve this, then go to another. Those who are running after multiple things, the mind will never be concentrated. And a distracted, divided, scattered mind cannot reach the subconscious mind. It's like the the magnifying glass. The paper starts burning. Now keep the paper in the sun. It doesn't burn. Why? When the rays are focused, then only it burns. The power comes. When the mind becomes concentrated, it starts. I have seen in my own medical practice, sometimes a very tough case come to me. Very difficult patient comes with this much files. He has visited 10 other doctors, 10 other hospitals, no diagnosis. And patient is suffering. This test, that test, MRI, brain, CT scan, everything has been done. And even when I look, I don't understand what is this. What I do in such cases, early in the morning, in morning meditation, I sometimes try to recall everything about that patient. One test is positive, another test is negative. This MRI is showing this. Sonography, ultrasound is showing something. And try to connect the dots. And many times it has happened that during, it is known as Amrit Vela, during the morning hours meditation, suddenly I come to conclusion. Yes, this is the diagnosis. There was one of our dadis, 87-year-old once, now she is no more. She was admitted in Ahmedabad. About 21 times her ultrasound of the abdomen was done, and her only complaint was pain in the abdomen. here. But every time it was normal. No, all reports were normal. Nothing was coming anywhere. And multiple things were done. Then ultimately doctor said, now you go home. We can't do much. She went. She came back to Mount Abu in Shantivan. And I was told to look at her. I saw she was definitely in pain. I didn't understand what to do. I said, okay, come to a hospital, get admitted. She got admitted, but she was in pain. And she had this much bile. I didn't understand what is it. The next day on morning meditation, I tried to keep in front of my mind all her reports. This. This is the complaint. This is the pain. This is normal. What is it? And suddenly I struck upon something that this pain is not coming from abdomen, probably somewhere from the spine. And that was one investigation which was not done. I ordered for MRI spine. MRI spine was done, and it was found that she had a fracture of the vertebrae. And the nerve was pressing, and which was having a radiating pain here. So such thing happen only when you are in a very concentrated stage of the mind. Now there is a problem in life. You are trying to think about it whole day, for days. You are not coming to any conclusion. Go out of that problem. Go to some place. Early in the morning, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, just sit like this and try to meditate on that problem. What is it? And suddenly the answer will flash. This is the answer. This happens. So, journey. And now you're talking about keeping focus. And next, listening. The next method of activating the subconscious mind is listening. Develop the art of listening. And for that, the best method is going in nature, sitting, closing the eyes, and try to listen every voice. The chirping of birds, everything what is happening. Now sitting here, if you close the eyes, try to listen the sound of a vehicle which is going, the fan, everything. Don't miss a single sound. Then you develop the art of listening. So art of listening is one such thing that gradually activates the subconscious mind. And then next, memory training. Memory training techniques. There are various techniques of memory, how to remember things. And all of those techniques utilize subconscious mind. I will not go in details of this. You can read about it or listen about this. This is a huge topic. But definitely, enhancing memory power is one of the ways to activate the subconscious mind. In enhancing the memory, automatically you activate the subconscious mind. It is to sharpen the mind. Abraham Lincoln was asked, if you are given 6 hours to cut a tree, what you will do? He said, first 4 hours I will sharpen the axe. And then with one strike cut the tree. So memory training means sharpening the axe. Sharpening the mind. And then nature. I already mentioned about listening. In listening I mentioned about nature, but nature mentions specific mention. All the greatest musicians, sculptors, all the painters, they love nature. All the poets, they love nature. Why? Because in nature we are very close to God. In nature we are very close to ourselves. In that calm and serene atmosphere, we feel something within us. How many of you love nature? Everyone? But do you go and seek it every day? Or sometimes? Only sometimes. Seek nature also means to be alone in nature. If even 2 persons are there, they will keep on talking. Even 2 are there. 2 is a crowd. If 2 are there, they will say, oh, what you are doing, what I am doing, this is that, and all the things. When will you observe the flowers, the leaves, the trees, the sky, the sunrise, the greenery? when you have so many things to talk with your friend who has accompanied you, the very purpose is destroyed. Even if two persons go away from each other. You go that way, I'll go that way. We will meet at this point again after 1 hour. That should be the method. Lao Tse was one of the Chinese philosophers, and he used to love solitude too much. And he and his friend would walk in the garden every day. One day, and they both will go very silently without talking with each other, because they both were lovers of solitude and silence. One day, a third friend came. He said, I want to be with you and go for a walk, morning walk. But they said, okay, you can come, but please don't speak. So that friend said, okay, I will not speak. So that friend accompanied, and they started walking, all three of them. And in between, suddenly the friend said, oh, what a beautiful sunrise. And they came back. And the friend went away. So Lao said to that other friend, which is accompanying him every day, we should not take this man, he speaks too much. What he spoke, what a beautiful sunrise. That was the only sentence he made. So Lao says, we should not take him again. He is a talkative person. So when you go in nature, be alone. Talk with leaves. Talk with birds. How many of you heard Percy Bysshe Shelley? He's a poet, very famous romantic poet. There's a beautiful poetry, Ode to Skylark. He's talking with that skylark. It's the best poem. Just imagine this poet is talking with that bird for such a long time and producing such a masterpiece which people study in MA English literature. Died spirit, bird thou never wert, that from heaven or near it pours thy full heart in profuse strains of unpremeditated art. It's a beautiful poem that goes. So poet is talking with birds. Have you ever talked with birds? How many of you? Have you talked with tree? Tree has something to say to you. There was a carpenter in China, and whatever he used to, if he had to make one table, it would take him 3 months. But when the table is prepared, it would be so beautiful. He was asked, how you do? He would say, I go to the jungle and stand in front of a tree and ask him, are you willing to offer yourself? And I will wait till the tree answers me. I will wait for 2 days, whole day I will wait what the answer tree gives. And sometimes the tree is willing that okay, I am ready to offer. So then I will prepare table from that tree. Living communication with non-living things, with trees. And that is why all the things, furniture which he used to produce were masterpieces. This looks little nonsensical. But there are many things in heaven and hell, Horatio, that are dreamt of in your philosophy. Shakespeare's Macbeth, Hamlet, says to his junior, there are many things in heaven and hell, Horatio is the name of that person, that are dreamt of in your philosophy. There are many things which you still don't know. There are many things which you have still not arrived at conclusions. Man has just scratched the surface of science. Just scratched the surface of eternity. He doesn't know anything. And then next, observation. Observe things minutely. Very minutely. Learn to observe everything very minutely in life. And the more minute is your observation, the more powerful you become. Keen observation. Observation like Sherlock Holmes. as if you are to investigate the case. That much minute observation about things. And then next, positive thinking. First I said positive affirmation. That is different. Now is positive thinking. Positive thinking is a different thing. It's a separate thinking. Like a disciple, two disciples, one guru. Guru asks, what do you think of this tree? The first disciple says, the tree is laden with fruits. And the moment you throw stone, fruits fall down. It's so good. Tree is so generous to offer us its fruits. The other disciple says, no, you have to hit, then only the tree gives fruits. It means you have to hit people, then only they will give fruits. There are two ways of thinking. You hit people, then they will give fruit. Then you can extract. The other says the tree is so generous. Look at the two different mindsets. One is positive, one is negative. What are we doing? What is our attitude towards life? Positive or negative? So positive thinking. Keep on, fill positive thoughts in your mind. Read positive books, read positive things. Read about positive people. Read about meditation throughout the life, and the mind is filled with positivity. And then next is questioning. Questions. Keep on asking questions. Self-questioning all the time. Why this, why that? As I said, curiosity is one thing. Questioning is write down questions or ask questions. Go to somebody and ask, what is it I have not understood? Can you explain me this? Become a child in learning. Learn from anyone. You can learn from a child also. He has so many things to teach. And one more thing, those who are parents, anyone who is parent, who have children, just raise the hand. Don't think that your child, the child who has come in your family, you are there to teach him. Think that they have come to teach you. What you have to think is, they have come to teach you some new chapter of life, which you have never learned till now. And then R. R is Raj Yoga Meditation, which you will learn here in this center. The method of meditation, how to meditate, what are the steps of meditation. I will not go in details of this. You can come anytime to this place, or you can go on internet and search online with some audios, videos are available. How to meditate. Because when you meditate, then only the mind becomes calm. Whatever I am talking is more of theory. Meditation is the real thing. The more you meditate, you will become very calm gradually. And then S is stress management. This is also a very big topic, but find out the causes of stress in your life. It is known as two-column technique. Write the cause, stress 1, 2, 3, and then think, is it really the stress? Is it really the cause of stress? And then cancel it. No, this cannot be the stress for me. On another column, write the answer. This column, write the stress. This is known as two-column technique. Then list the stressors. And on the other side, why it is causing the stress? Is it really the cause of stress? So manage stress. The next is time management. This morning we had a talk in medical college on time management. In time management, I will just tell you two things. Time boxing is one thing. Time boxing means plan your day. From 5 to 6, what I am going to do. From 6 to 7, what I am going to do. Throughout the day, plan it like that. So that not a single moment is wasted. Life is precious, time is precious. I don't want to waste anything. Because the time which is lost cannot come back. Cannot come back. Let me utilize it for my self-progress, spiritual progress. Rather than the frivolous entertainments and the cheap entertainments and the cheap pleasures of the world. I don't want to repent later on. The life is sublime, I have to utilize it for a very higher purpose. So manage time. So time boxing. The second here in time is Identify time wasters and energy drainers. Whatever are the time wasters, just stop them. With a pledge, stop them. Write a contract. You know the contract method? Write a contract from today onwards, I will not do, and below sign it. And below sign it. This is the contract you have made. Now don't break the contract. So that is the contract method. From today onwards, this, and sign it. Stamp it. If you have a stamp, you can even stamp it. Put the date and timing, and even hang it somewhere. And remind yourself, this is the contract I have made. I cannot break the contract now. And then using this moment means living in this moment. Rather than repenting for, something bad happened, or anxieties of future, this is going to happen, that is going to happen, that is going to happen. Live in this moment. Now you are sitting here, listening to this lecture. Live only in this moment. Forget what you have to do after going home. Forget what happened throughout the day. Live in this moment. In this moment lies the eternity. Very beautiful saying in English. In this moment lies the eternity. Lies, L-I-E-S, lies the eternity is here. And then visualization. The next technique is visualizations. Visualize every detail. How to do this visualization now? For example, look at that picture. This picture. Okay? Look at nicely. Every one of you, just look at that picture which is behind you. Look nicely. And now close the eyes and try to remember what all things were there. I will give you one more chance. Look at that picture. Everything what you are seeing there. Colors, people, animals. What animals? Now look here. Close the eyes and try to recall what was it. See every detail. Colors, animals, people, places, buildings. Open the eyes. See again. Now I see so many things I missed. So many things are missed. Why? Because our visualization power, our observation power and visualization power are very dull. Develop this power to visualize every detail of life, every detail of things you see. Visualizing means seeing in the mind's eye. And then next, waking and walking. Waking means waking early in the morning. What is the time when you wake up in the morning? All those who are coming for the first time, just let me know the timings. Yes, let's start from here. Okay, I will ask. 5 o'clock who gets up? No, 8 o'clock who gets up? None. 7 o'clock? 6 o'clock? 5 o'clock? 4 o'clock? There are some who are not at all raising the hands. What time they are getting up? 9? Because I started with 8. I thought 8 is the latest, the last. Who gets up at 10 o'clock? 9 o'clock? There are others, some are not raising the hands. Huh? Probably, no. Yeah, no, lunch time. So this money of breakfast is saved. When we were doing our MBBS, there were some of our students who used to sleep at 6 o'clock and they would get up at 12 noon. They say, we don't want to waste our money on breakfast. We will get up and straight away go for lunch. So, waking up early in the morning. Waking and walking. Walking is the best exercise. If you don't want to do that exercise which I told earlier, just go for a walk. There was an American author, he wrote in his autobiography, he had a very terrible fight with his father, whole night, on certain thing. And by the time it was morning, his father said, either you will stay in this house or I. So the son said, I don't want to stay with you. I am going. Very angrily, he left the house and started walking. And whilst walking, he realized he doesn't have money. Now, how will he go? So he started walking and walking. It was early morning hour, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. He started walking, 5 kilometers, 6 kilometers, 7 kilometers. And whilst walking, he realized it is my mistake. I am at fault. I should go and say pardon, ask for pardon to my father. And this is what the effect. This he has written benefits of walking. In the morning hours, his mind became very fresh. And he realized few things, that it is my fault, not my fault of my father. Mark Twain has written in his autobiography, at the age of 20, I felt my father is cool, stupid man. And now I am 40-year-old. In this 20 years, my father has become so clever. In this 20 years, my father has become so clever. Actually, father was clever then only. Now he understood after 20 years that his father was clever all the time. So this is just off the track. So waking and walking. And then X. X means X-ray. X-ray means self-checking. Before going to sleep at night, just do some little self-checking. Have I hurt anyone? Have I done anything wrong? Is my action painful? Traumatic? Have I committed some blunder in life? Every day before going to sleep, do little self-checking. And then Y is Yoga Nidra. Now, Yoga Nidra is a technique to go to sleep. In few lines, I will tell you what is Yoga Nidra. When you go to sleep, just sit like that, sleep like this, relax the body. Okay, first step. Then next step, rotation of consciousness. Concentrate on the toe, sole, heel, calf, thighs, and start relaxing every part. That is known as Shavasana like. Start relaxing each and every part. Finger, first, second, third, forearm, arm, shoulders, chest, eyes. This is the second step. Rotation of consciousness. Take your mind to that particular part of the body. Third step, focused on breathing for some time. Next step, create a positive self-statement. I am very energetic. I have positive outlook towards life. I am becoming more and more peaceful. Like that thought. And then gradually try to get detached from the body. Body is left behind. I am above here and seeing the body. And with these thoughts, just go off to sleep. Then see what happens. Or if some problem is troubling you, some relationship has become fractured. Relationship fractures, emotional fractures has happened. Think that my relationship is becoming whole. Everything is so nice with me. With these thoughts, go to sleep. And when you will go to sleep, even you don't know. But when you get up in the morning, you will be very fresh. And this is a treatment for insomnia also. You can go and read about Yoga Nidra. It is known as yoga, dream, sleep of yoga. A lot of scientific research people are doing on this nowadays. And it is a treatment for many things. In this, just sleep for 2 hours, you get sleep for 8 hours. They say. Sleep for 15 minutes Yoga Nidra, and you get up in 15 minutes, you feel as if you have slept for 2 hours. So refreshing it is. And the last point of this class of activating the subconscious mind, Z, zeal and enthusiasm. If you have become depressed, if you have become frustrated, bring back that zeal and enthusiasm of life. How do you go and meet people who are already enthusiastic? Today morning when we went to the botanical garden, I was so happy how happily everybody was doing that exercise. So go and see, meet some people like this. See, go to such places that will bring back your enthusiasm. So these are in all total 26 ways, means, methods of activity, the subconscious mind, and becoming very, very powerful. Any question, just ask in last 5 minutes so that we can finish by 9. Or you can write down and give to the sister, which I can answer. Yeah, brother.
So,
Yes.
about the one of the techniques of sleep, one of the things, but when you are asleep, you lose the awareness, you don't even know the time.
Yeah.
And so how, I don't quite understand, can you explain how to be conscious when you are asleep?
I'm not telling to be conscious while sleeping. I'm telling the method of going off to sleep. When you sleep, relax yourself totally on the bed. Relax your body. Rotation of conscious means with your mind, think that each and every part of the body is getting relaxed. Focus on breath for some time, create some positive thoughts, and with that thought, imagine, visualize. And with that thoughts, with those visualization, gradually go off to sleep. Actually, there are two. What is the difference between sleep and meditation? In sleep, we are unconscious. In meditation, we are conscious. But both are the stages of relaxation. But only difference is in one stage we are totally awake. On another stage, we are totally unconscious. You just fall off to sleep. And whatever is your last thoughts during sleeping usually becomes your first thought on waking up. Whatever is your last thought during sleep becomes your first thought at the time of getting up. So sleep is a very, very important thing. It's okay. So sleep is definitely something which we need to explore, to understand. So many hidden secrets are there in sleep. People have done a lot of, they say dream interpretation is also one of the way to activate the subconscious mind. Whatever dreams you had, but then some people say it's a waste of time to think of dreams. Forget them. Dream had come, it has gone. Don't think and don't try to recall. But yes, dreams are coming from the subconscious mind. If you see something, definitely that fear is there in your heart, hidden. Outside conscious mind, it is not visible. But it is coming from, that phobia is there somewhere. Because some of the many fears are there within us which are hidden. We don't know about them, but they are hidden. For example, Napoleon, when he was 6 months old, and he was in the cradle, suddenly a wild cat came and pounced upon him. But it did not hurt him. He was just 6 months old. But throughout his life, Napoleon had fear of cats. How? Why? Because that cat fear has gone into his subconscious mind. And that's why in the Battle of Waterloo, Napoleon was defeated. Why? Because his enemy got to know that he fears cat. So he brought 20 cats and threw upon him, and Napoleon was defeated. This is how the defeat of a man who could even fight lion. He was fighting, he could fight lion. He was such a brave, but cat fear was there in the subconscious. That's why people fear cockroach. If there is a cockroach, they just run away. Oh, what, all those things happen. Why? Fear of animals, fear of water, fear of heights. There's so many things hidden in our mind, subconscious mind, and we must know them. We have to enter by all these methods and many other things. Go and find out, and then work on it. What is the cause of fear? And we will understand many of our fears are unnecessary, unnatural. They are just our own creation. They are not real. They are unreal. Any other question?
So how many hours do you sleep?
6 hours, sometimes more. 4 or 5 hours at night and 2 hours or 1.5 hour during the day. But as I say, I am an emergency medicine doctor, so patients keep on coming, emergency medicine, ICU is all the time full. So if the patient comes, then reports, and then many times I have to go in the middle of the night and see the patients. But I take care, as I said, the second point is balance. I take care that I get enough sleep. Because if you don't get sleep, then you don't feel fresh. You should get very good sleep. You have to adjust according to your routine. So now there is some person who doesn't get any time during the day. He goes to job at 9 o'clock and comes back at 5. Now if I tell him to get up early in the morning, the whole day he would be sleeping there. That is not accepted. You should be active, alert during your job. Adjust your sleep in that manner. At least 6 hours. Sometimes some people require 7 hours also. Any other question? That's it. Okay, so just 2 minutes sitting meditation. I hope it was not boring. Whatever I have heard today, I'll try to recall, understand, and apply in my life. Whatever good things, henceforth, that I will listen, read, I will immediately try to apply it. Let my life become a laboratory. Let me experiment with every new thing. The path of calmness, the journey of tranquility, the voyage of peace is calling me. I am feeling as if I have received the divine call. The divine is calling me. I am listening to the voice of the divine. Come on, claps my hand and come. Come on, claps my hand and come. With this thought, with this resolution, let me begin a new life from today. An absolutely noble, newfangled life. With newness, with new relationships, with new attitude, with new desires, with new feelings, with new sense of wonder, with a childlike innocence, with godlike simplicity, with complete purity. Let me embark on a new beginning. And I express thankfulness for everyone who came in my life with complete positivity and the sense of gratitude. I begin my future journey. Om Shanti. And thank you.
Om Shanti. Thank you all for joining us this evening. And I'm sure you have taken something to benefit yourself. Right? And just to remind that if you haven't done our meditation course, do contact us. Usually we'll start Monday evening, 7:30 p.m. But nowadays, some people cannot make it in their busy schedules. They want daytime or special arrangements, weekends. Just make appointments with us when you are ever able to start. So if you haven't given us your WhatsApp number and would like to receive our notices and positive thoughts, please come to the reception and register yourself. And so now you may come and take blessing cards from Brother Sachin. If you come in the line, you take the blessing cards, and the toli will be at the reception. You come this way and take the toli, the sweet, at the reception. Om Shanti. Thank you.